In the heart of a moonlit forest, two worlds collide, one of power, the other of longing. An alpha shifter must choose between his duty and the love he never expected. Can love truly heal the divisions within his fractured pack? The pack had always respected strength above all, but when a mysterious shifter enters their territory, chaos unfolds. She embodies everything they fear yet crave, a bridge between their two worlds. As the alpha confronts the newcomer, sparks fly. Her fiery spirit challenges his authority, igniting a hidden desire within his heart. Can he balance his pack's expectations with his own feelings? The pack's elders warn him of the consequences of weakness. Love is a vulnerability, they say, one that could shatter their unity. But is love truly a weakness, or is it their greatest strength? Amidst the tension, the alpha and the newcomer find stolen moments together. In the quiet of the forest, they share their dreams and fears, discovering the strength in their bond. But outside forces threaten their fragile connection. A rival pack seeks to exploit their weaknesses, eager to tear apart what they have built. The alpha must decide where his loyalties lie. As the rival pack attacks, the alpha must rally his own. With the newcomer by his side, they fight not just for survival, but for acceptance of their love within the pack. In the heat of battle, the alpha faces a moment of truth. Will he choose the safety of his pack or the love that has transformed him? The choice he makes will define their future. With a fierce roar, he chooses love. The pack watches in awe as he defies their expectations, leading them in the fight for a united future. Can love truly conquer all? As the dust settles, the pack stands victorious. The alpha looks to the newcomer, realization dawning that love has the power to heal their divisions. Acceptance begins to blossom. In the aftermath, the alpha addresses his pack. He speaks of unity, acceptance, and the strength that love brings. The pack slowly begins to open their hearts, embracing the shifter. The newcomer shares her story, her struggles, and the journey that brought her here. Her vulnerability resonates with the pack, breaking down barriers and fostering empathy. Slowly, the pack members start to accept her. Bonds are formed over shared experiences, and the once divided pack begins to thrive in their newfound unity. However, not everyone is convinced. A faction of the pack still resists, believing that their traditions must remain unyielding. The alpha must confront this challenge head on. The alpha calls for a gathering, urging everyone to share their thoughts. It becomes a battle of ideologies, with emotions running high as they debate what it means to be a pack. As voices rise, the alpha steps in, reminding them of their shared history and purpose. He emphasizes that love is what binds them, not fear. Can he bring them back together? In a pivotal moment, the newcomer stands beside the alpha, showing her unwavering support. Her presence symbolizes the hope for a future where love conquers all divisions. The pack begins to see the truth in the alpha's words. They remember the bonds forged through love and loyalty, and realization spreads like wildfire among them. Ultimately, they agreed to embrace this change. The pack stands united, accepting the newcomer as one of their own. Love has truly triumphed over fear. As the sun sets, the alpha and the newcomer look towards the horizon. Their hearts intertwined, they understand that their love will guide the pack toward a brighter future, where acceptance reigns. The pack gathered under the full moon, a symbolic meeting to solidify their newfound unity. Yet, whispers of dissent echoed among the shadows, revealing the uncertainty that lingered in the air. Some members remained skeptical about the newcomer and the alpha's decisions, questioning if love could truly conquer distrust. The alpha, feeling the weight of responsibility, called for a moment of silence. He shared his vision for a future where all could coexist, his voice steady but laced with emotion. The newcomer stepped forward, ready to prove their worth, driven by love and the desire for acceptance. But not everyone was convinced. A rival shifter, one of the strongest in the pack, challenged the newcomer openly. His voice was a rumble of discontent, and the tension in the air thickened as the pack held its breath, unsure of how the alpha would respond. The alpha's jaw clenched, aware that this moment could fracture their delicate unity. He defended the newcomer fiercely, but the rival's accusations hung in the air like a storm cloud. As voices clashed, the newcomer felt the sting of isolation creeping back in. In a desperate bid for peace, the newcomer proposed a challenge, one that could prove their strength and loyalty to the pack. It was a risky move, but driven by love, they were determined to show everyone that acceptance was not just a dream, but a reality. The challenge was set for dawn, and the pack buzzed with excitement and apprehension. They were torn between their loyalty to the alpha and the doubts planted by the rival. As night fell, the newcomer prepared, heart racing with both fear and hope, envisioning a future where love and acceptance reigned. The following morning, the sun broke through the trees, casting golden rays upon the arena where the challenge would unfold. The pack gathered, their breath held in anticipation, knowing this moment could change everything. Would love triumph, or would fear tear them apart once more? As the challenge commenced, the newcomer faced the rival with courage, every heartbeat echoing the stakes at play. Each move mirrored not just a fight for acceptance, but also a fight for love, their bond with the alpha rooting them deeper than the rivalry itself. With each clash, the pack watched, their views shifting as the newcomer demonstrated unmatched skill and heart. The alpha's eyes never left the newcomer, filled with pride and unwavering faith. Would their love inspire the pack to choose acceptance over fear? As the bout reached its climax, the rival launched a final attack, hoping to bring the newcomer down. But with a swift move born of determination and love, the newcomer countered, showcasing the strength that came from their connection to the pack and the alpha. The rival fell, and a hush descended upon the pack, disbelief washing over their features. In that moment, the newcomer stood victorious, heart racing not just from triumph, but also from the love that surged within. Acceptance was within their grasp. Yet, amidst the cheers, doubt lingered in some hearts. The rival, humiliated, rose slowly, his eyes burning with resentment. The newcomer advanced, determined to extend a hand, knowing that true victory meant healing wounds, not just defeating adversaries. The rival hesitated, the pack holding its collective breath. Would he accept this offering of peace, or would the cycle of fear continue? The alpha stepped forward, his voice steady, bridging the gap, urging unity over division. With a mix of reluctance and resolve, the rival finally took the newcomer's hand. A ripple of surprise coursed through the pack as old wounds began to mend. The newcomer felt a surge of hope, believing in the power of love and acceptance once more. In that moment, the pack erupted in cheers, the sound echoing through the forest like a long-awaited song of victory. The alpha smiled, a quiet pride swelling in his chest as he realized that love had begun to heal the fissures within their community. Yet, beneath the surface, challenges remained. The rival's acceptance was a step forward, but whispers of dissent still lingered. The newcomer and the alpha exchanged glances, silently acknowledging the journey ahead, a path fraught with trials but paved with love. As days passed, the newcomer worked tirelessly to earn the trust of their fellow pack members. They assisted in hunts, shared stories by the fire, and participated in rituals, each action a step towards acceptance. Bonds slowly formed, but fragments of doubt still lingered. One evening, as the pack gathered for their customary storytelling, a young shifter voiced their concerns. What if the newcomer's allegiance lies elsewhere? The tension immediately thickened, the newcomer sensing the weight of fear creeping back into their hearts. The alpha interjected, his voice firm but calm, addressing the fears head-on. Trust must be built, one day at a time, he stated, his gaze sweeping over the pack. The newcomer felt a surge of gratitude, aware that their place in this pack was not yet assured. That night, the newcomer found themselves by the riverbank, overwhelmed by the weight of uncertainty. The alpha joined them, sensing their distress. They spoke softly, sharing dreams and fears, their connection deepening in the vulnerability of the moment. "I want to belong," the newcomer confessed, their voice barely above a whisper. The alpha took their hand, his warmth providing reassurance. "You already do, but it will take time for others to see what I see," he replied, a promise of hope in his words. As days turned into weeks, the newcomer faced challenges that tested their resolve. Old rivalries simmered, and suspicion flared up again when a threat emerged. A rogue shifter encroaching on their territory, igniting fear among the pack. The alpha called an emergency meeting, the urgency of the moment evident in his voice. He emphasized the need for unity against this common enemy, rallying the pack around the belief that together they could overcome any threat. The newcomer felt a renewed sense of purpose, understanding that their journey towards acceptance was intertwined with the pack's survival. They volunteered to scout the perimeter, eager to prove their loyalty and strength to those still skeptical. As night fell, the newcomer ventured into the woods, senses heightened. Every rustle of leaves and snap of twigs amplified the seriousness of their mission. They were not just fighting for acceptance anymore, but for the safety of their newfound family. Suddenly, a growl pierced the night, sending chills down their spine. The rogue had been spotted, and an intense standoff loomed. The newcomer felt their heart race and remembered the strength of love that had brought them this far, steeling themselves for the confrontation. The rogue lunged, a blur of fur and teeth, and the newcomer instinctively fought back, channeling all their training and the love that motivated them. Each move was a dance of survival, not just for themselves, but for the pack they had come to call home. With a final surge of strength, the newcomer outmaneuvered the rogue, sending them fleeing into the shadows. Panting and triumphant, they realized this victory was not just personal, but a testament to their place within the pack's heart. Returning to the pack, the newcomer was met with astonished faces, disbelief turning into admiration. The alpha stepped forward, pride evident, knowing this act of bravery could shift the tides of acceptance once and for all. The alpha embraced the newcomer, a gesture of recognition and gratitude. "You fought not just for us, but for the love that binds us all," he declared, a powerful reminder of their journey together. The pack erupted in cheers, love overcoming fear once again. But the battle was not without its scars. The newcomer felt the burden of responsibility heavier than ever, knowing they had to continue proving their loyalty. As the stars twinkled above, they vowed to protect this family no matter the cost. Weeks passed, and the pack began to heal from the rogue's attack. Bonds grew stronger as they came together in the aftermath, sharing experiences that further intertwined their fates. Yet, shadows of doubt still clung to some hearts, particularly the rivals. One evening, the rival approached the newcomer, his expression uncertain but sincere. "Your bravery has earned my respect," he admitted, a truce forming between them. This moment marked a shift, a step toward healing old wounds and bridging the gap of distrust. As they spoke, others began to gather, intrigued by the conversation. The rival extended a hand, offering a gesture of camaraderie. "Perhaps we can work together to strengthen our pack," he suggested, the air thick with the possibility of unity. The newcomer accepted the gesture, a weight lifting as acceptance began to blossom. In that moment, they understood that love was not just about romance, it was about building trust and fostering connections within the pack. From that day on, the newcomer and rival worked together to unite the pack further. They organized training sessions, shared stories of their pasts, and invited everyone to participate. Slowly, the walls of doubt began to crumble, replaced by laughter and camaraderie. One night, as the pack gathered for a celebratory feast, the alpha stood to address them. He recounted the journey they had taken together, emphasizing the importance of love and acceptance. "We are stronger together, bonded by our shared experiences," he proclaimed. As the night wore on, feelings of joy and belonging washed over the newcomer. They felt truly at home, a member of this pack that had once seemed so distant. The Alpha caught their eye, a silent acknowledgement of the journey they had shared and the love that had blossomed. But as they celebrated, a distant howl pierced the night, a reminder that threats still lingered beyond their borders. The pack's joy faltered. The newcomer felt a pang of worry. Would they have the strength to protect this newfound family against all odds? The Alpha quickly gathered everyone, determination etched on his features. "We will stand together," he affirmed, his voice steady. The newcomer felt a surge of courage, knowing that love would continue to guide them through any storm that approached. In that moment, they understood that love had not only healed old wounds, but had also forged a new path forward. With unwavering resolve, they prepared for whatever challenges awaited, their hearts beating as one in the face of adversity. As the stars twinkled above, the pack stood united, knowing that their love and acceptance would light the way through the darkest nights ahead. Together, they would face whatever came, bound by a destiny woven from strength and heart. As dawn broke over the horizon, the pack gathered outside their sacred grove, a place steeped in ancient power. Energy crackled in the air, heavy with anticipation and the unspoken fears of those who stood together yet apart. They all knew the upcoming trial would reveal not just the strength of their bonds, but the depth of their commitment to each other and their shared destiny. Their leader, Alpha KL, stepped forward, his fur glistening in the early light, embodying both strength and vulnerability. He surveyed each member of his pack, his heart aching with the weight of the challenge they would face. Today, they would not only fight for their acceptance, but also for the right to love freely despite their differences. Amidst the gathering, Mira, a young shifter with a heart full of hope, felt a spark of determination ignite within her. She had always been the outsider, but she knew that love could heal even the deepest wounds. As she caught Kale's gaze, a silent promise passed between them, one that spoke of courage and the power of belonging. The trial was not just a test of strength. It would challenge their very essence. Each member had to confront their fears and doubts, facing not only external adversaries but also the darkness within. As the first challenge loomed, Kale raised his head and howled, a rallying cry that echoed through the trees, uniting the pack in purpose. Yet, lurking in the shadows, a rival pack watched, their eyes glinting with malice. Led by the cunning and ruthless Alpha Rian, they thrived on division and discord. Rian's disdain for Kale's united pack was palpable. He believed strength lay in fear and separation, and he was determined to exploit any weakness revealed during the trial. As Kale and the pack prepared for their first challenge, doubts crept into the hearts of some. Would unity truly be their strength, or were they simply delaying the inevitable? Mira sensed the hesitation and stepped forward, her voice steady as she reminded them of their shared vision, igniting the fire of hope within their hearts once more. The first challenge was a test of agility and speed, demanding that each member of the pack navigate through a treacherous terrain filled with natural obstacles. As they raced against one another, their hearts pounded with adrenaline and the need to prove their worth. Kale led the charge, epitomizing the spirit of their united front. As the race progressed, Mira found herself struggling behind, her limbs weary but her spirit unyielded. With each step, she could hear the murmurs of doubt from some pack members, questioning whether a young shifter could ever truly belong. But deep within, she felt the pull of love and acceptance urging her forward, igniting a fierce resolve. At the climax of the challenge, Kale caught sight of Mira lagging behind. His heart twisted in concern, but he remembered her unwavering spirit. With a burst of energy, he slowed his pace, calling out to her, encouraging her to push through the pain, to fight for their love and their place in the pack. Mira's heart swelled at Kale's words. His support ignited a fire within her, and she summoned every ounce of strength she had left, charging forward with renewed determination. With each step, she felt the weight of doubt lift, replaced by the power of love and the promise of acceptance that awaited her at the finish line. As they crossed the finish line, Kale and Mira were met with a mixture of cheers and astonished silence. The pack had witnessed not only the physical prowess of their members, but also the unbreakable bond forming between the alpha and the young shifter. This was a moment that could change everything, a testament to the healing power of love. But the rival pack was not idle. Rian watched with a smirk, calculating his next move. He knew that sowing seeds of discord was his greatest weapon. As Kale and Mira basked in their victory, Rian plotted to exploit their newfound unity, to turn it into a weapon that could ultimately tear them apart. In the aftermath of the challenge, the pack celebrated, their spirits lifted by the newfound camaraderie. Yet, even in joy, Kale felt a shadow looming over their victory. He gathered the pack for a meeting, emphasizing the need to remain vigilant against external threats and to protect the fragile bonds they had forged. Mira stood beside Kale, her heart swelling with pride and determination. She felt a stronger sense of belonging within the pack, but the weight of the challenge ahead loomed ever larger. She knew that their journey was far from over and that the rival pack would stop at nothing to tear them apart. As the days passed, the bond between Kale and Mira grew stronger. They began to train together, honing their skills and deepening their understanding of each other. Each moment spent together was a step towards healing not only their hearts but those of their pack, as they worked tirelessly to foster acceptance and unity. Yet, as they trained, whispers of doubt still circulated among some members of the pack, who questioned Mira's place within their ranks. Rian's influence lingered, and he had begun to sow the seeds of distrust among the more traditional members of the pack, those who believed that a shifter could never truly belong. Kale sensed the growing tension, and in a moment of desperation, he called for a council meeting. He knew that addressing the doubts head-on was essential to maintaining their unity. As Kale stood before his pack, he poured his heart into his words, speaking of love, acceptance, and the strength that came from embracing differences. Mira listened intently, her heart racing with hope. She felt the weight of every gaze upon her, yet Kale's unwavering support bolstered her courage. As he spoke of unity and strength, she began to envision a future where acceptance reigned, a place where all could thrive regardless of their pasts or their natures. When Kale finished, silence enveloped the pack. Some members shifted uncomfortably, while others seemed moved by his words. Finally, an elder spoke up, sharing his own story of acceptance and the strength he found in embracing those who were different. His words rippled through the crowd, igniting a spark of hope. Encouraged by the elder's words, more members began to share their thoughts, revealing their own struggles with acceptance and the desire for unity. One by one, they spoke, transforming the atmosphere from one of doubt to one of hope and understanding. The pack began to realize the power of their shared experiences. As the meeting drew to a close, Kale looked into Mira's eyes, a silent acknowledgement of their journey together. They had taken a step forward, but challenges still lay ahead. The rival pack would not rest, and Kale knew that they must remain vigilant, united in their resolve to protect their newfound bonds. In the following days, the pack bonded through a series of challenges designed to strengthen their unity. They faced trials of trust, communication, and collaboration, each designed to reinforce the ties that bound them together. With every challenge, Kale and Mira became more entrenched as leaders, guiding their pack toward a hopeful future. Meanwhile, Rian observed from the shadows, his frustration growing as he watched the pack transform. He plotted to disrupt their unity, determined to exploit any vulnerability. In a moment of dark inspiration, he devised a plan to challenge the pack, one that would test their loyalty and commitment to each other. One night, a sudden howl broke the tranquility of the woods, sending a surge of unease through the pack. They gathered, hearts racing as they awaited Kale's command. He understood the call was not from their own, but from Rian's pack, challenging them to a confrontation that could shatter their hard-won unity. Kale stood at the forefront, his mind racing through the implications of Rian's challenge. He felt the stirrings of fear, but he refused to let it consume him. Instead, he rallied the pack, reminding them of their strength and unity, emphasizing the love that had brought them this far and would sustain them through the trials ahead. Mira felt the tension in the air, the weight of the challenge looming over them. Yet, as she looked at Kale, her heart filled with admiration and courage. She understood that love was their greatest weapon, and together they could confront anything Rien threw their way. They were no longer just a pack, they were a family. As the confrontation approached, tensions ran high among the pack. They gathered to strategize, their voices filled with determination, ready to defend their home and each other. With every shared glance, they solidified their commitment to one another, understanding that their love and solidarity would guide them through any storm. The night before the confrontation, Kale and Mira spent time together in quiet reflection, their bond deepening with each shared moment. They spoke of hopes and fears, dreams and aspirations, knowing that whatever the outcome, they would face it together. In that moment, they felt invincible, fortified by their love. As dawn broke, the air buzzed with tension as both packs prepared for the encounter. The forest felt alive, every rustle and whisper echoing the uncertainty that lay ahead. Kale and Mira stood side by side, ready to face their rivals, their hearts beating in sync as they embraced the challenge together. Ryan stepped forward, a sinister smile on his face, taunting Kale and Mira as he challenged their right to lead. His words dripped with disdain, seeking to draw out doubt among the united pack. Kale felt the anger rise within him, but focused on maintaining control, knowing that they had to respond with strength and unity. Kale stepped forward to meet Rian's gaze, his voice steady and unwavering. He spoke of the power of love and acceptance, of the strength that lay in their unity. As he spoke, Mira felt the surge of energy within her, inspired by his words, ready to fight for their love and for the pack they had built together. Ryan's laughter echoed through the clearing, filled with mockery and scorn. He challenged Kale to prove the strength of his pack, setting the stage for a trial of combat that would test not only their physical prowess, but their emotional resolve. The air thickened with tension as the two leaders prepared for battle. As the battle began, Kale faced Rian, their energies colliding like thunder. Each strike was fueled by their beliefs, their hearts intertwined with the fate of their packs. Mira watched with bated breath, her heart pounding as she realized the stakes were higher than ever. They were not just fighting for themselves, but for all those they loved. In the midst of the chaos, Mira felt a surge of determination, knowing she had to support Kale in whatever way she could. She joined the fray, using her nimble agility to distract Rian's followers, showing that every member of their united pack had a role to play in this fight for acceptance and love. As the battle raged on, the pack fought together, their unity shining through in every coordinated movement. Kale and Mira worked in tandem, each supporting the other, their bond strengthening with every challenge they faced. The fight became a dance of trust, love, and determination, each member playing their part. But Rian was relentless, using every trick in his playbook to gain the upper hand. He targeted Mira, seeking to exploit the bond she shared with Kale, hoping that by threatening her, he could break their united front. He lunged towards her, eyes filled with malice, determined to shatter their hopes. Kale's heart raced as he saw Rian's intentions. In that split second, he knew he could not let anything happen to Mira. With a howl that echoed through the forest, he charged forward, intercepting Rian's attack, drawing upon every ounce of strength he had to protect the one he loved. The impact of their clash sent shockwaves through the clearing, their bodies colliding with a resounding force. Kale and Rian struggled for dominance, each gritting their teeth, knowing that this battle was about more than just power. It was a fight for love, acceptance, and the future of their packs. Mira, fueled by the sight of Kale's bravery, found her own strength surging within her. She joined the fray once more, her agility allowing her to dodge and weave among the rival pack members, distracting them long enough to help her pack gain the upper hand. As the battle continued, the pack began to rally behind Kale and Mira, drawn by their courage and unity. The sight of their leaders fighting fiercely ignited a new fire within them, transforming their doubt into determination. Together, they surged forward, pushing back against Rian's forces with newfound strength. Rian's confidence began to wane as the tide of the battle shifted. He could see that Kale and Mira's love was more powerful than he had anticipated, and fear crept into his heart. In a moment of desperation, he attempted to retreat, but the pack would not let him escape so easily. They surrounded him, ready to defend their right to love and belong. In the final moments of the battle, Kale stood poised before Rian, the weight of their conflict hanging in the air. But instead of delivering a final blow, Kale extended a paw, offering Rian a chance for redemption. He spoke of the possibility of a united future, inviting Rian to reconsider his stance and join the pack in acceptance and love. Ryan hesitated, the weight of his actions crashing down on him. He had spent so long promoting division, yet here stood Kale, offering him a path toward acceptance. The pack watched breathlessly, holding on to the hope that love could heal even the deepest wounds. Would Rian take the chance, or would anger prevail? As the tension reached its peak, Rian's heart raced, torn between his long-standing bitterness and the unfamiliar warmth of acceptance. Kale's offer echoed in his mind, a challenge to change, to embrace the love that had united the others. In that moment, the future of their packs hung in the balance, teetering on the edge of transformation. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Rian took a deep breath, and the tension crackled in the air. He stepped back, but not in retreat. Instead, he accepted Kale's paw. A collective gasp erupted from the pack, a profound moment that marked the beginning of healing and unity, affirming that love truly had the power to transform even the hardest of hearts.